Okay, guys, I'm here starting my video blog up again, and I'm gonna pretty much start this video blog pretty much based at or targeting new drivers and new drivers that have a lot of questions and they want to get them answered and want to get them answered in as quick as possible. And I know you have a lot of questions. We all do for getting started in the trucking industry. Yes, you can make a lot of money in trucking, but you got to be careful about what you're doing. So, with that being said, the number one thing to focus on when you're a new driver is to pay attention to everything your trainer has to say, do, and as tedious as it may sound, and as time consuming as it may be, those are the most important hours that you can ever put into your company is to learn as much as you can first starting out. So learning as much as you can from that driver as far as backing up goes, as far as like lane changes go, paying attention to four-wheelers on the road, stuff like that, that is crucial. Because if you're not a safe driver and you're not out there defending yourself all the time when you're driving, then you can easily lose your CDL in just one instance of one mistake. So you got to be very careful about what you're doing all the time. I mean, we're talking about people's lives. We're talking about very expensive equipment, very expensive freight, so on and so forth. So you got to be very cautious about all that. So don't worry about the money. Yeah, we're all in this to make money, but don't worry about the money, especially when you're starting out, because the money is really not what it's about when you're first starting out. It's about working your way into a brand new career that is going to possibly lead into you owning your own business and forming business connections, with people that you can trust, corporations that you can trust and rely upon, and that people you're going to be working with every single day, possibly for the next 30, 50, 200 years. Who knows? Your friends and family might be become part of this, but you have to do it right if you're going to be successful in the trucking industry. So, other advice that I can give for new drivers is, look for companies that are going to give you the tools that you need. And the biggest thing is, when you're talking with them on the phone, when they're telling you, well, this is what we got to offer, there are some key questions that you can ask any company right from the beginning, and it will save you a lot of time and headache. And one of my biggest things that's always annoying to me, and I didn't know this when I first got into trucking, and a lot of things have changed since I got into trucking. But it's annoying to me that there are so many companies out there that will offer you a cash advance, take it out of your pay, and they want you to pay for tolls and stuff like that. Well, I'm just going to tell you right straight up front, that's not cool. The simple way to do it is to run with a company that already has Easy Pass, Pre-Pass, NorPass, Best Pass. They got it all. That also says that they probably know what they're doing. And all these other companies that don't have that are pretty much making you pay for it, and you got to pay for it right out of your money that you took from the cash advance that maybe you're using to pay for food or something like that. Maybe you have an emergency come up and you got to pay for something. Now you don't have the money. So that's important. Number two, how much does a company advance you per week? Do they advance you $100, $200, $300? My good golden rule of thumb is at least make sure that they're going to advance you at least $250 for the week if you need it. Now, with that being said, try not to take that money unless you absolutely have to, because it's going to come out of your paycheck. But just know that there's going to be expenses on the road that you're going to have that are truck related, and most of the reason why companies give you that money is for truck related expenses. But as a driver, you also know, and as a human, you also know that you're going to have personal expenses that are going to come out too. And all drivers know they use their advances to pay for food or whatever when they're on the road. Whatever. The main thing is that you got the money to pay for things. You pre-plan for emergency expenses. And the next thing is, do they have a 24/7 dispatch call center? Or do they have a mom and pop operation where they only answer the phone 8 to 5, and if they're not there, then all of a sudden you're screwed and you're left in the dark? Well, that's the sort of thing that you got to think about. So if they're going to leave you in the dark, then that's probably not a company you want to go with. I mean, especially as a new driver, you don't want to go with a company like that, because that means that all the problems that could arise, you're responsible for it. You got to figure out how to take care of it. Anyways, I had to take a quick break, and I'll be right back.